Oh, I thought you heard me. I was saying it said on my end that the meeting is being live streamed.
Yep,
Okay.
me too. So that's
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. 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 So let me go ahead and record. Let me go back here. I just want to check. I don't see it showing up in the group though, but I do see it says live streaming. I'm gonna just go ahead and record just to be on the safe side too. All right. All right. So today is an exciting day. I have my ladies in the building. This is going to be strictly positivity. So, sister, if you are watching, before you scroll, I need you to hear me and hear me clear. If you've been saying you're going to show up, if you've been sitting on your voice, if you know for certain that you are called to more, but you're not posting, this conversation is for you. Because the truth is, you don't have to have a content problem, okay? You have something deeper holding you back. And tonight, we're talking about exactly that. Why moms stay invisible online and how to fix it. So you don't need to go anywhere. This might be the conversation that is everything for you. Angel is coming in. So, for those who are already watching, I would like to say welcome to the very first unmuted and unfiltered business panel live for mom CEOs. Okay, this space was created for real conversation, no perfection, no highlight series, but what it actually looks like to build a business while being a mom. Because to be honest, a lot of us have great ideas, right? We have the gifts, we have the calling, we have the potential, but we're still struggling to show up. And tonight, we're going to be talking about that. So, if you've ever overthought posting, struggled with consistency, or felt like you weren't ready, you're in the right room. As you're coming in, I would love for you to drop a hey, tell us where you're tuning in from, drop it in the comments, and let us all know who you are. So I'm going to let each of these amazing women that I'm with introduce themselves, who they are, and who they serve, and what they do. Beginning with Cedreka, okay? So let's get it.
Hey, girl. Hey. Okay. Yes, ma'am. So thank you for having me here. First of all, Tammy, I really appreciate it. I love you, sister. And so, as you all know, or for those who don't know, my name is Cedreka Baggett. I am located in San Diego, California. I specifically help overwhelmed women reduce physical and mental chaos so they can lead with more peace, clarity, and capacity, especially moms, because we got a whole lot going on. So, yes, that's me. Was there anything else I needed to answer other than that?
Oh, girl, you did really well. But I would like to say that Cedrica is someone who really, really understands what it looks like to be overwhelmed while trying to build something at the same time. Right? She helps women create more peace, structure, and capacity in their real life. Because to be honest, when life feels chaotic, showing up online feels almost impossible. And Cedrica, I love what you're doing. The fact that you are out here helping us ladies declutter our minds and get positioned in a way that we can lead and serve with clarity. That's a godsend, girl.
Ma'am.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Next, I'm gonna let Miss Angel Conway introduce herself.
Hey, beautiful, amazing, gifted, purposeful queens. I'm Angel Conway, your favorite faith-based certified self-care bestie. And I I have a really passion and a heart to serve women who are stressed out and is sick and tired of being sick and tired and are ready to put her first, pour back into you, and make you a priority through expanding your creativity, learning the art and skill of crochet, and making time to pause throughout the day. So, yeah, so glad to be here with you guys. Back over to you, Tammy.
I love it, love it, love it. And Angel, like again, she says she's a certified self-care coach. Okay. She's a wife, she's a mom of 3 beautiful boys, and she really hones in and focuses on helping women reconnect with themselves, slow down, and pour back into their well-being. Angel is one of the most positive individuals I love and I know, and she shows up with just such authenticity and with a genuine just spirit overall. And once you get to know her, you will love her as well. I hope you all are able to tune into her circle and listen in on what these ladies have to bring because it's going to be powerful. Next up is Miss Yondel Gilfurt.
Hello, everyone. Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to the room. I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Tammy, for having me. I am Yondel, the head mom in charge over at Mommy Slays. And what we do is I help empower and encourage women through creativity, where they are showing up and reminding them that they are still that girl. So I create handmade accessories and create creative experiences, and I am also an educator.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Yondel, she is an amazing creative. I'm telling you, this woman here has creativity spitting out of her fingertips. She can create anything just like that. And the spice that she puts on to help us ladies feel like we are more than what we really give ourselves credit for. You cannot miss it. I mean, Yandel, she works with women who know that they're that girl. And if you need help being reminded of that, she'll definitely help you. All right. But if you've ever felt like you've lost that spark or felt like you just not the woman that you used to be, all right, you need to tap into Mommy Slays. Okay. Mommy Slays is where it's at. All right. All right. Thank you, ladies, again for being here. I really, really appreciate you taking the time to show up and stand up for us moms out here who are definitely trying to show up and show out in business. Entrepreneurship is not for the weak. And we're going to go ahead and start out with these panel questions so that we can get the conversation flowing. Now, I do have a few questions jotted. So if you do see me looking down, that's what I'm taking a look at. So starting here, we're going to start with the real conversation first. Have either of you ladies ever struggled with showing up online? And if you did, what did that look like for you?
Oh my God, for years. I struggled with that for years.
I can relate.
And for me, it looked like low self-esteem, self-doubt, worrying about what other people thought of me, um, saying the wrong thing, looking the wrong way, like so many things,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah.
that literally was like me just in that bubble for a very, very long time. Yeah.
Yes. I could definitely relate to that. With me, growing up, I was bullied. So I struggled with confidence a lot. You know, I struggled with showing up as myself a lot. I battled with trying to be like the next person because I didn't like the person who I was because of the constant bullying.
Mhm.
So when I got to a point where I wanted to tap into being an entrepreneur, it was difficult for me to show up because I constantly worried about what others was going to think, what others was going to say. The people that did bully me, if they see my content or see what I'm sharing online, they might tap in and get other people to bully me. So it was a struggle. But when I was able to grow out of that mindset and understand the importance of showing up for the individual that I was serving, that negativity that was in my head, it started to get lower and lower instead of being so loud and constantly stopping me in my tracks from doing what I was destined to do. I felt like I had a calling, but a lot of the time I let that fear stop me. And I no longer do that. And I like to let other people know that the fear is the main thing that's going to stop a lot of us from showing up. The question, the doubt, the insecurity, it's going to always make us stop in our tracks. But you got to understand the only person that's going to help you do what it is that you want to do is you, nobody else.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I'm letting people in. Next question I have is, why do you think many moms stay invisible online, even when they know they have something to offer?
I'll
My
jump
feel, oh,
in.
she could go. Go ahead, Yondel.
Okay. And I'm going to combine the previous answer because it relates. So I struggle with being an introvert. And as you know, Tammy, I'm an overthinker. My head is always going. And so I get in my way. And so I think that moms specifically struggle because they get so busy. Life is lifing, and then they are prioritizing the kids and not prioritizing their dreams.
Oh, yeah.
So what we're supposed to do for the dreams that we have, the purpose that has been instilled in us, it gets put on the back burner. And so that's why I personally think that we struggle.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Cedreka, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, same around what Yondell mentioned. It definitely goes together for the most part. Like, while we don't show up as moms, yeah, life be lifing, things be going on. You get busy. Like, we juggle so much as moms, as businesswomen, as career women. We just juggle so much. We're natural go getters. We always got to be go, go, go. So it's easier for most people, most moms, most women to show up for other people and not show up for ourselves. And so it's hard to kind of pull ourselves out of that if you've been in it for a long time. Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah. I I also want to add to the point that a lot of moms struggle with showing up online because they feel like running a business, it takes a lot of time and energy. It really, really does. And they probably feel like or guilty that they're taking away that time from their family or their kids. And many women struggle with that, especially overprotective moms. I know for me, when my twins were born, I struggled with that, and I didn't even think I was gonna ever pop back up to be an entrepreneur. I kept telling myself, "Yeah, I'm gonna show back up," but I was thinking, like, when the twins get here, how am I gonna be like? I'm going from being a mom of 4 to immediately a mom of 6, right? So I'm like, it's gonna be a lot of time that I'm gonna have to put back into my business to regrow it, and then that time in itself is gonna take away from my kids. But once I realized I can actually I can add my children into what I'm doing, let them help me out, let them be there, show their faces, stop feeling ashamed to have my children run around in the camera when I'm filming because that's real life. Like, I am a mom and everyone knows I'm a mom. So every video that I record or every piece of content or image that I share is not going to be perfect. It's going to have some glitz of real life, you know, going on into it. So, and I want people to understand that, especially moms, don't let that stop you. Okay. Don't feel like the fact that you are a mom is going to take away from your children because you're trying to grow something huge for you and your family. If anything, your children watching and seeing what you're doing is going to inspire them to do the very same thing. Angel, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, that very last part, and then I'm gonna backtrack. That's a part of why I am where I am today is because I saw my mom as the example. As a teenager, her doing her thing and going into business for herself, and I was like, that's what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be an entrepreneur. So thank you, Mom. Um, that community, that example is what's needed, to broaden our horizons. And so like that's a very intricate part of, you know, how we show up, why we show up. But I do want to go back to your first question is yes, I've been there, you know, million times over, as far as like just not thinking I had what I needed to show up. And so I didn't show up because that's what I thought. But then that goes into, you know, what holds me back is that I wasn't understanding what was in my hands. I wasn't understanding who God created me to be and the gifts that He wants me to use, the talents that He wants me to use to show up. And so, like, it really is all interconnected. But when you get rooted and grounded in who God says you are, who He called you to be, whew, that's when things start to take off and you like, can't nothing stop me now. You know, I'm on a mission.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Yondel, I see your hand raised, sis.
I wanted to piggyback on that because that's how Mommy Slaves got started. It was a segment I started called When Baby Plays, Mommy Slaves. And it was because I was scared of showing up online when I had my first child, because you don't know, there's going to be interruptions. There's going to be crying. Somebody's going to come and want to take over the screen. And I'm so used to my background is education. So I'm used to following like a structure. And that's not how it goes down when you're a mom. And I know a lot of people tuning in can relate to that, but I had to learn, you just got to go with the flow. I had to start naming my children my co-host. The last baby, we call her Slay Baby. Like they're part of the scene. In the background, not too long ago, I was just helping somebody with their tablet. It's just part of who we are. That's part of your brand. That's part of being authentic.
Yes. I love that. I love that. And being a mom, we got to understand that the power and the responsibilities that we have, we can't let being an entrepreneur overshadow that. Like being a mom is important. So why not bring some of that in what you're doing? Why not let it show up and shine? Because that's part of your personality. Once you have a child and you show up as a mom, you create a business, continue to show up as a mom. You can still be a mom that's professional and slay. Like slay it, girl. Slay with it. I love that. I love that. Next question I have here. Let me see. How much, and I think this would be more so towards Cedreka. How much does overwhelm and lack of structure actually play in a role in why moms don't show up?
Oh yeah. Okay. So that goes into like behind the scenes, moms not having it together behind the scenes. So I work with moms and women with their spaces specifically. But the most important thing with that, when it comes to overwhelm and the structure, it starts with dealing with what's going on internally. Honestly, when it comes to the overwhelm, it starts going on with dealing with what's going on internally, that mental clutter, that emotional clutter, right? That it may be spiritual clutter going on, right? And so when you do not address those internal demons per se, your environment will the visual of that will be your environment. Your environment will expose those internal demons that's going on. So it is very much a thing when it comes to not being able to show up as well, because you're dealing with so much internally and it's not being addressed, and it stops you from doing what you need to do, like Angel mentioned, putting your face out there and showing up and presenting your gift that God gave you. And also, like, the fear is constantly there, the doubt is constantly there. And so when we do not deal with those clutter bugs internally first, and of course it shows up in the environment, but when we don't deal with those internal like I said, internal demons, pretty much it shows up everywhere else in our lives. Yeah.
I agree with that. I do understand that how, even just sitting with the massive amount of clutter can definitely affect how you feel, how you think,
Mm-hmm.
your energy level sometimes. So,
Yeah.
having that type of power to just sit and, well, I won't even say power. A lot of the time, like I was telling you the other day, my garage, it gets me. Girl, I have a headache out of this world, but I know that once I get to it, when I go past that garage door, I won't feel that anxiety anymore.
Mhm.
And that goes to show, like, for those of us who sit in, like, not even just a messy area, like mentally, not being able to let go of a lot of things,
Yep.
drag things on, and being able to release that could help you tremendously.
Yeah. And even the strongest women who have it going on already, it could still cause a block. It could
Yeah.
still cause stopping that person from going to that next level, right? Like for me, like I said, I struggled with that for a long time. I'm a retired military, so I know structure, like Yondel mentioned earlier, structure, like I'm big on it. Like I need A, B, C, D before I eat, like do anything, right? And then like, I'm a single parent with 3 kids, right? And I'm a full-time student as well. My win for today was finishing chapter 1 for my dissertation. Lord Jesus. So it's so much that we put into, but even having all of that, the accolades and everything, there could still be a blockage from us going to that next level. Yeah.
I agree. Anyone else want to add to that?
So that really just make me think about how we need to take a pause for the cause, as I like to say, and really do some reflection on like what areas is it that I need to like give more attention to, because I can definitely see that for myself too. As it specifically relates to the internal clutter bug and the external clutter. Um, some areas in my home and just personal life, like I got it on lock, but then other areas I don't. So, yeah, we need to like do some reflection and assess like, okay, what other areas can I be working on?
I agree. I agree. Good deal. Next question I have would be, and I'm glad it ended with you, Angel, because this question might lead towards your area of expertise. How does not pouring into yourself mentally, emotionally, physically impact your ability to show up in your business?
Yeah, that's a good question because it's deep in the sense that we have all these dreams, aspiration, goals, we want to show up in purpose and all that stuff, but we forget that the assignment is us.
Right.
We forget that we first have to lay a foundation for ourselves before we can pour out anything to anybody else. And so, really creating that daily foundation of what do I need physically? What do I need spiritually? What do I need emotionally? What do I need socially? There's just these different components of our health and wellness that we need to attend to make sure that we show up happy, healthy, healed, and whole, as I like to say, and it's not about, trying to do everything at once. Well, I need to do this. No, it's about assessing what you need in any given moment of the day. You know what I'm saying? Yes, have that structure, because plans, goals, that's how we move forward, right? But that daily pouring into ourselves, that's the long game that we're playing. You know what I'm saying? We can show up for a time, but when you're burning both ends of the candle, eventually that candle gonna burn out, you know? And so it's not only that you deserve to show up and pour back into you, it's a must, right? Um, if I could take it to the word, it says, it says, beloved, I wish above all that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prosper. So God, yes, he cares about you showing up, using your gift to do things, right? But he also cares that you are showing up whole, that you are showing up complete, full, fulfilled, and all those different things. So yeah.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I stand by that 100%. Knowing that if you're trying to do too many things at once, because let's face it, running the business in the beginning, it can be so exciting, girl. And then you get shiny eye syndrome. You want to do so many things, all the things, because just about everything seems interesting and you feel like you can do it. But once you get into the meat and potatoes, you realize it's a lot that's going into each thing. And sometimes when we don't get a chance to meet whatever goal we set for ourselves, we'll beat ourselves up. And y'all know we can be our biggest critic when it comes down to not meeting our goals or not successfully achieving anything or not doing what we said we were going to do. And we just need to learn how to give ourselves grace. We already have enough going on as it is. And the fact that we are wanting to show up, we're taking the initiative to try and we're showing that goes to show that, that's a lot in itself. So trying to do all of the things, like Angel says, it'll eventually burn you out. You'll end up getting sick. You'll end up not caring for the one person that should definitely be cared for. And that's you. Because if you're not well, how would you be able to do all of the other things and care for the people that are so important to you? Hey, Yandel, I see your hand, sis.
You said it before I could say it. Burnout is real.
Hey.
So how many times have we gotten burned out and we just shut down? Like for me, my outlet is creativity. So if I'm not creating, I'm not happy, I'm depressed, I'm not doing what I need to do. And I see people raising their hand in the chat because burnout is so real. And so I like to share, I like to let my tribe know if I need to take a break, if I need to step away, I'm very honest with them. And I remember that's how I connected with you, Tammy, when you were pregnant with the twins. And you were being authentic with us. You would come in and check in, and you were really real with us. And that's how I really was following you, like checking in, like, are you okay, sis? You know what I'm saying? So burnout is real, but it is okay to step away and take a break,
Yeah.
like reset, do what you got to do.
Oh yeah. That's facts. And it's actually real because when you feel like you need to take a break, rest. It's okay to rest. Don't feel like you just have to grind 24/7 and have to be on power 10 and sleep is for the weak type of energy. No, that's a facade. That ain't real. Those people who live like that, I'm telling you, they burnt out. They're stressing. They're tired. But you don't need that because your babies, they'll feel that. I know my twins, they feel whenever I'm stressed or agitated, then they begin to feel it and act agitated and stressed out as well. So you got to, come with a different type of way to complete your work without overloading or having too much on your plate, because outside of business, you got you, and then you have your life, your kids, your husband, if you or have a husband, your significant other or what have you. But most importantly is you. At the end of the day, before the lights go out and you close your eyes, it's you. So how are you mentally, spiritually, physically? How are you doing? And if it's not okay, then we need to check in with ourselves and get it back together, because the business, yes, we want financial freedom. Yes, we want that thing up and running. But if you're not operating at full capacity, then your business won't. And home won't either. Yeah, Brittany said it's so hard for me to relax, but I'm working on it. Girl, I know it. You have a newborn too. So I can definitely relate. When I had my twins, girl, I don't even want to get on that because that's a whole nother segment in itself. But just know, when you are in a position to where you can't show up every single day, it's okay to step back, and you don't have to apologize for it. The people in your audience, that supports you, that know you, that love you for you, they'll be okay. And they themselves know rest above all is important. You need self-care. It's a godsend, girl. I'm glad. On the seventh day, what did God do? He rest. Okay? And he's all powerful. And no, he didn't rest to sleep. He didn't rest to take a break because he don't need rest. But he did it to let us know we need rest. When it's all said and done, we need to take time for ourselves and most importantly for him. But we ain't gonna get on that right now because girl, that'll turn to a whole another fellowship and preaching segment, and we don't want it to go over the time we have allotted. But the next question that I have, and this is great conversations, ladies. I love it. The next question I have will definitely be for Yondel. So I'm loving the fact that you were the last one speaking, because this question will be more in your area of expertise. What happens internally when a woman knows she's that girl but still doesn't show up like it?
People see right through it. So when she's not showing up like her, so when you're not showing up like yourself, or you trying to copy the next person, people see it. When you show up like your authentic self, that's when people connect with you. And a part of that girl, you're hiding her inside. She's slowly, I don't want to say be morbid and dying, but you are hiding her. You are not showing the true person that she is. So when that's not what we need to do. We need to show up as ourselves. And you have to ask yourselves, ladies, look at people who you look at that are successful. Look at their success story. It's because they have been themselves. I love Cardi B. And I say, if Cardi B can get paid to be herself, we all can get paid to be ourselves, myself included. But anyone that you look at and you listen to their success stories, it's something unique about them. Okay. Somebody in the comments said, what you don't use, you lose. And it's so true. People connect with you because of you. And there's no one like you. You are the blueprint. So I need everybody that's in this room, we're in the room for a reason. And I need you to remember that you have to show up as yourself.
Yes, that's so accurate. I know that a lot of people who I want to say this. I want to say this just to be clear. A lot of people who are trying to run a business, they feel like they can't, run their business successfully because that niche is saturated. And just like Yondel said, can't nobody do it like you. You are the blueprint. You are the one main thing that can attract your audience to you. Your personality, the way you think, the way you create, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the things that you want, that makes you stand apart from your audience. So those of us who sit and be like, well, what can I do to stand out against my competitors? Or what can I say that makes me feel unique or makes my audience want to pick me or shop with me or hire me? Whatever you think of, can't nobody think of the same way, or at least not in the same way, because it's you. We are all uniquely divinely created. We're designed differently, and it's for a purpose. If we were all the same, nothing would be exciting. But if you go ahead and put your own spin on it, if you need help with learning how to put your own spin on it, pray about it. Say, God, what is it about me that makes me unique? Why did you make me the way I am? Who am I? He'll tell you before you can think, because he knows you better than you know yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yondel, you have your hand read. I see it, sis.
So I wanted to add, that's what's called your USP. What is it? Your unique sales position, where you can identify what is unique about yourself. So for me, I am not just your average accessory designer, right, guys? I can make accessories out of paper. Nobody's sleigh stacks are like mine. Like, I've named them sleigh stacks. They're beads. And I create experiences where no one else, I haven't seen other people creating those type of experiences. So that's your power. You want to stand on your uniqueness instead of running away from it, because that's how you stand out. That's what makes you memorable. That's what keeps you building your tribe.
Yes, so true. Anyone else want to add to that? Now, ladies, if you're in the audience and if you're specifically on Zoom, you are my VIP, okay? And if you would like to add anything in particular that you think would be beneficial to a mom CEO, don't be ashamed to share it, okay? I would love to hear your opinion. You know, your help is greatly appreciated. So we're doing this because this here is a movement we're building. And it's so many of us out here that are mothers that want to run successful businesses, but we feel stuck. All right. We're putting in the work. We're putting in all the hours, but we're just not seeing the results. And we don't know what is causing us to feel stuck. Why are other mamas out there being successful and this mama can't? Why do I feel like I can't do it and she can? You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. Let's go ahead and talk about it. But thank you, Yondel. I love that input on that's great. The next question I have is, how do risks play a role in creating consistency?
Ooh, I could speak on that.
Okay.
Risk, create a role. Do you mean as far as the risk that you take in order to?
Out on faith. Stepping out on
Okay,
and
gotcha.
yeah.
I left my 9 to 5.
Okay. Let's
I
talk about
left I left my 9 to 5 actually February 9th. I literally was just fed up, and it was, I prayed to God, okay, God, I need you to speak and tell me, is this the right decision? So I had to use my discernment, and then once I heard from God, and I didn't think, now this was a situation where I know God literally pulled me out, because I knew by my own will, I probably would not have. Okay. And so it was like it was like God's hand forcing me to move, because I know, for me, even though I'm a very outspoken person, I am an introvert to the fullest. And most people don't think that, because I'm very outspoken, but I love my bubble. Okay. And so for me, it was pulling me out of that comfort zone, even though I was grooving and moving, somewhat in my business, but it was pulling me out completely out of that comfort zone of being a 9 to 5, because I knew it wasn't something that I was going to be doing forever, because business full time was my main goal. And so when I left, I literally felt complete peace. Like no other. And it was a strong step out on faith. Of course, I had a plan in place, because I got to be structured now. but I felt complete peace of making the move, stepping out on faith from leaving my 9 to 5, because I'm like, okay, God, here I am. Because one thing for me personally, something I've held back for a long time, was my voice, specifically on, because I'm a very blunt person. Like, I say what I said, and that's it, that's all. And so for me, I held that back for a long time, because I'm like, I will offend people and have no feelings behind the offended. Okay. Because for me, it's speaking. That's why I don't consider myself a professional organizer. What I do is way deeper. People call me a declutter queen. I call myself a declutter queen. People call me a declutter coach, life coach, wellness coach. But for me, it's way deeper. It is more than just the environment. It's the mental, it's the emotional, it's the spiritual. And I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in God. And so, speaking on all of those things, I held that back for a long time. But today I'm her, like Yondel.
I love it. I love it. So if you had to give any woman out there advice, and not necessarily a mom, but any woman who feels like they're in a 9 to 5, or they may have a part-time job and they're just going through it. And they just feel like it's just better for them to run their business solely. Like, what advice would you give them?
I would say pray. If you a praying person, pray to God, because that's the only thing that you get your answer. And also seek wisdom. You have other people that are mentors, or you don't want to make a rash movement out of, without using your own discernment, but seek guidance in a way, whether that's from God, whether that's from a mentor. Seek guidance first, and have a plan in place. Because sometimes when we step out on faith, we don't know.
You're
Like
right.
you could have a plan. I'm like, okay, God, it's all you now. Let's go.
Okay. It's always him.
Yeah.
I would definitely, and being out from your 9 to 5 and working solely full time for your business, because now I'm like you. We were talking about it the other day. I left my job as well because I was going through it. Discrimination is real,
Yep.
and that's a whole topic in itself. But now I'm working full time for my business. And I hate that it had to get to a point to where it got that aggressive at my business, to where my job, where I had to leave.
Yep.
But sometimes God will give you signs. And if you continuously ignore those signs,
Mm-hmm.
what will happen? Oh, he'll place you where he wants you to go. He's gonna be like, you ain't listening, so this is what's gonna happen, because
Exactly.
it's either this or that, and it's not gonna be this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in a position and you have a 9 to 5, and you've been dreaming like, this is what I want to do. I want to run my business solely from home because I don't have the bandwidth to work full time and run a full time business. Then that's when you definitely need to get with yourself. You need to pray. You
Mm-hmm.
need to write out a plan. You
Mm-hmm.
need to map it all out, because we don't want you, yes, that you can step out on faith, but we don't want you step out on faith and flat on your face.
Right.
We want you to make sure that you have a plan set in place. All
Mm-hmm.
right. So at that time, at that specific moment, when you say, okay, that's it, I'm walking out, I'm putting in my 2-week notice, or I quit, you will know that you will be fine. All
Yes.
right. You stepped out on faith, you put it all in God's hand, and you created a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's for the next 3, 6, or 9 months, or a year, you have a plan.
Yep.
And without having a plan, ain't no telling what's gonna happen. But you
Mm-hmm.
need to know for certain what kind of business you want to run. All right. What kind of person you want to serve. What type of offers you want to offer. What do you want to do? All right. What you want to have. Like, what you got to have all of the specifics detail. Because if you just quit your job and then you say you want to run a business and you want to run a boutique, but you don't know what clothing you want to offer or people you want to serve to, you can't
Mm-hmm.
sell to everyone. All right. Everyone is not your target audience. Everyone is not your target audience. And when we think about the word audience, a lot of us like to think about a crowd of different individuals. And yes, it's going to be a crowd of individuals, but it's going to be a crowd of one specific individual.
Yep.
That's your target avatar. And that's the person that you need to learn and talk to. Yondel, I see your hand, sis.
So I'm part of the leaving the 9 to 5 crew too. I left the classroom in 2021, 7 months pregnant. And you have to have a lot of faith to do that. But something I wanted to add to what you ladies were saying is having a support system.
Yes.
A lot of the people that we look up to that are successful have a team. And I think we overthink, oh, well, I can't afford a team. I can't do this. A team could look like, it's Mental Health Awareness Month, y'all. I have a saying, therapy and God is top tier. So
Okay.
part of your team could be a therapist, could be a business coach, could be the right group that's going to guide you. And let me back up. It has to be the right business coach that really believes in you, roots for you. So just keep that in mind. To everyone that's in the chat, you have to have a team. And sometimes your best friend or your cousin or whoever, that might not be that person in your team. They might not understand what God has put into you. They might not understand the vision, so they might think you're talking crazy. So you have to also surround yourself by like-minded people that are going to direct you, root you in the right direction, but at the same time, not going to just say yes to everything. Like, yeah, you should, because that might not be the right thing either. So having a team is important, in my opinion, when it comes to walking out on faith, like taking risks. And risk brings rewards. Scared money don't make no money. And that's the pattern. A lot of us are scared. Let's be real. You could say it in the chat. We are scared at times to ask for the sale, or to charge our worth. We overthink and we think that, oh, we can't charge this much. We can't do, nope. So we have to do our research. So we can have these big goals and we charging Shein and Temu prices, and I'm going to stop there.
Not Shein and Temu, but that's real. You have spoken. You hit the head on the nail, girl. You did. Hey, Angel, I see your hand, sis.
Yes. So I wanted to add to what she was saying, because years ago I heard something that stuck with me, and I was told, yes, you need to have a coach, a mentor, but then I need to be a mentor to someone else. So you have this higher accountability, like you got accountability coming from both ways, but that's going to level you out. So it's like you're still growing and learning in every single direction, because we need to start to actually implement the things that we are learning. And the best way to do that is to help someone else get to where you were. Like no matter where we are on our journey, there's always someone else that's looking at you and like, how's she doing it? Like, I don't understand. Like, what did you do? How did you do it? And so it's just really important to know who you are, because who you are is amazing. Who you are is gifted, is talented, is beautiful. Can't forget that. Have so much to give, because you're here, and because you're here, we know that you have a purpose. So
Exactly. That's great. Yes, Cedreka, I see your hand, sis.
I just want to piggyback off of what Yondel and Angel was speaking on. It's very true. And I want to like tell the women, like when we see people on social media, nobody has it all together 100%, no matter how glamorous it may look, right? And that goes back to having that support system. Like for me personally, I'm in therapy every week right now, because I know like stepping out on faith, once again, I'm stepping into something new. So I want to make sure I am taking care of myself so that I am whole spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. So you have to pour into yourself so you can show up for your family, for your business, all the things. So like I do therapy once a week. Like Yondel said, it's therapy and Jesus, child. Because it's real. Like you have to have that support in place. And, I thank God for, having that, and just being like the self-care with Angel is bigger than self-care is an everyday task. That's a daily task for all of us. Self-care is not just mani and petty and all those things. It's about pouring back into yourself and doing what's therapeutic for you, and whatever that looks like, so you can continue to show up.
Mm-hmm. I feel you on that, sis. That's great. I see Brittany just asked, how to encourage a woman who just had a baby looking for a job, but you are not getting the job and trying to be successful in her online business. Okay. So I would say, first of all, never give up. Never give up. Whatever it is that you are trying to do, I feel like everything happens for a reason. And we all have to trust in God's time. Don't stress yourself out. You just had a baby. You want to make sure you give yourself grace and take it easy. And I know a lot of times we feel like, okay, bills are due. We need to get this money and we need to get this money fast. But I don't want you to be so money driven to where you lose sight on what's important. Okay. So to encourage you, I would definitely say, and I know you are a woman of God, you're going to pray, but I would definitely say, make sure you take it day by day. List yourself out. And then you're in, I think you're with pharmacy. So for you, I would say list out a few jobs that you are interested in working for. But at the same time, if you are going out trying to recruit people to join your team, make a list for yourself as well. All right. And when you make a list, make sure you make a list of the type of individuals that you want for your team. Don't go out and just recruit anyone, because I used to be in financial literacy and I had to recruit as well. And I had a team of 15 people under me. But I do want to say this. When you are going out recruiting people, it's easy to say, yeah, join my team, and try to accept everyone. But are they coachable? Are they willing to do what's required to not only grow a team for themselves, but help you as well to maximize your team? I can't get my words out right today. But okay, so when you're going out trying to find these people to recruit, make sure that you look at their profile, figure out what it is that they're doing. Are they showing up consistently on social media? All right. Do they have what it takes to be on pharmacy on your team? Are they the type of individual? Are they positive? Are they God-fearing? Are they are family oriented? Maybe you want people that are family oriented. I don't want you to just go out and try to figure out, look, how do I just get anybody to join my team because I'm trying to make money so that I can pay a bill? Because if you lead with just money in the forefront, you're going to lose sight on what you're trying to build. All right. So that's just how I would like to encourage you moving forward. Everything that you want in life, you're going to get, but it's going to take time. And it's a lesson in everything that we're doing. And if we ignore the lesson and try to do things our own way, we're not going to get it accomplished. All right. So slow down, pay attention to the message at hand or the lesson that God is trying to show you. Learn it, achieve your goal, and grow day by day. Anybody else want to add some encouragement for Brittany or any mother who is in that situation?
I'll add.
Yeah, because I understand.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead
Okay.
after you.
I wanted to say that one thing I learned as being a mom and everything and being a business owner, one thing I learned when it comes to being a go-getter and just go, 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 God does his best work when we rest. He working behind the scenes. When we rest, when we be still for a moment, that's when you could see the shifts. And that's when you could get the clarity as well. And so that's literally like the biggest lesson that I've had to learn for myself. Be still, my child. I got you. Chill. It's okay. Literally, that's all. That's everything I get from God. Like going through. Like yes, there's challenges. There's mountains to climb, valleys to go through, all the things. And at the end of the day, as you build up your faith and just kind of steady yourself to hear from God and get that clarity, he will move. He's already moving, even when you don't see it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
I was going to say the same thing in alignment. First of all, congratulations. How old is the baby? But it sounds to me like you need to rest. Our steps are ordered. And I always say God has a sense of humor. And we'll have these plans and we want to move. And I'll share a quick story for you. After I left my job, that was my plan. Okay, I'm going to have this baby and I'm going to go hard on this business. And guess what? My social media got hacked. All of them. And that's where I used to make sales out of my stories. And I had to start all over again. And yes, I had an email list, but it wasn't the same. And so I had to sit my tail feather down because that's what he wanted me to do in the moment. I thought things were gonna go different, but take your time. And then when you're ready, for applying to jobs, to me, that can be, I don't want to say like a full-time job, but you might have to treat it like a part-time job. And then when it comes to your business, just come up with a schedule that works for you, and know that it's okay if every week doesn't look the same. It's okay. Just keep it honest and just keep showing up.
Mhm.
And think about different ways sometimes that you could do things. So if what you're doing isn't working after a series of time, you might have to switch it up. So for me, I had the same audience, so I had an exhausted audience and I wasn't making sales, so I had to go outside. My introvert self had to go outside. I didn't want to go outside, but I had to go outside. So just keep that in mind. But everything is going to work out in your favor. It is.
Yes, it is. I agree. I agree. And I do want to add this. I don't know why it was placed in me to think of this, but it was. So I'm going to say this. And for those of you, who know, you know. But for those of you who are saying that I've been putting in the work, I've been praying, and it's just I'm not getting anywhere. Are you being specific with your prayers? And what I mean by specific, if you are praying for your business to grow, in what ways are you praying for your business to grow? What income are you trying to make for your family? In what ways do you want to show up and serve in your business? You have to be specific with every single thing that you do. If you want a job, you can't say, Lord, please send me a good job. Or Lord, please let me get a job. What type of job do you want, sis? Are you praying for a job, just a job outside in the heat? Or do you want a job that's in air conditioning with great, employees, coworkers, with positive attitudes, with benefits, with a nice salary, weekends off, 401k? Like, are you specific in what you are praying for? And if you are, then he says, ask and you shall receive. But if you are praying and you're saying, oh, I want this, I want that, well, why do you want this? In what ways do you want this, my child? And if you're not being specific in that, then he'll give you what you're asking for, but it might not be exactly what you want. He know what you want, he know what you need, but you got to show up in a way that shows him that you are ready for it. And once he knows you ready for it, you got it. Just like that. Yes, Angel, sis, I see your hand.
Yes, girl. Oh my gosh. Yes. As they say, this is good to me. It's good to y'all. It's good to me, man. Um, so I wanted to add along with that, yes, absolutely 100% lay that foundation, because we know closed mouths don't get fed, right? However, we are in seasons at various points of our lives, right? So to what Cedreka said, a part of that rest is being present, and in that rest, in that stillness, in that presence, that's when we do hear from the Lord. And along with that, though, in that presence, there's a refining that's taking place. There's a molding, restructuring. Like, God is cultivating us in a way to get to that next step, right? So don't despise the season that you're in, but lean into it and really try to, like, ask God, what is it about me in this season that you are seeking to grow, so that I can be ready for the blessings that you have for me. So, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Spot on. I love this conversation, y'all. The next question that I do have is, if you have a consistency, and this is from Angel. No, this is from Yondel. If you have a consistency mom hack, share it with the community. So, what consistency mom hacks do any of you share or have and want to share with the community?
So, my consistency mom hack is called the SPA method. It's a really cute. Listen, I love a good acronym. I love a good quote. But it's what I create for myself to show up, like in every area of life, but specifically as it relates to as an entrepreneur. So the SPA method is an acronym for keep it simple, practical with accountability. Those simple three key principles is going to take you far. So let me break it down really quick for you. Simple, right? Earlier we talked about, trying to do all the things right. We're going to keep it simple and own your one. What is that one thing that you need to focus on today to move the needle forward, right? Once you got that one thing, think about, okay, now what does that practically look like? How much time can I practically give to it? How am I going to show up doing it? What do I need? The tools, materials, resources, and then the accountability part, right? We need to hold ourselves accountable. So whether that is getting an actual accountability partner, phone a friend, setting those timers, alarms, putting in your calendars, time blocking, right? I think that's something that, well, I'm just speaking for myself. I have lacked on a lot, but once I started integrating those different forms of accountability into how I show up, that consistency skyrocketed so much so that I've gone live on TikTok every week for almost 3 years now. Yes. I use
Yes.
5 method girl. So yes, it's to break it all down, sum it all up, is really about, you know, showing up, as I like to say, when you can, why you can, and how you can. Don't be worrying about what Susie and Rebecca doing. Okay. What can you do? What's in your hands to do right now, today? Do that, and then do it again. Then do it again. Something happens, that's okay. Life be life, man. Pick yourself up, do it again, and do it again. And you're going to start to see that growth that you've been wanting to see. You're going to start to see the money rolling in.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I've definitely, I wouldn't call it a hack for me, but what I do every single day, and I know as business owners, we have tons of things that we need to do each and every day because we wear all the hats. But I make sure that I write down at least 3 things in my to-do list for the next day. I'll map out 3 things that I know for certain that I need to do. And I ain't talking about just stuff so that I look busy. I'm talking about things that I know that's going to actually create movement and momentum for me in my business. And that can look different from everyone. Whether that's creating content, whether that's showing up live, like Angel was saying, whether that's taking pictures. So if you have a boutique, taking pictures of your inventory and sharing it, showing up in some type of way, shape, or form for your business in whatever way that doesn't burn you out, but definitely pushes the needle forward, is gonna definitely help you tremendously. Now, when every single day before I go to sleep, I write down these 3 things, okay? And if I don't tackle all 3 things, and let me tell you, it be days I can't get to all 3. I'm just gonna be real. But if I could just get to one item and I know it's something that I know is gonna help me, I'm good. I can sleep well because I know the other 2 items, I'm gonna get to it the next day. And I'll just add that 3rd item. And if the next day I can knock out all 3, then kudos to me. But if I can only get to one, I'm not beating myself up because I know something has gotten done. And if you can just do something, and it's just one thing, even if it's just making one post, you showed up, you let your audience know you're there, you're ready to serve, you are passionate about what you're doing, they're seeing you, you're creating opportunity for visibility. That's a win. That's a win. Don't beat yourself up. You do not have to be everywhere all the time. Okay. Show up in a way that's good for you. Okay. And yes, we want to show up for our audience. But say, for instance, what if your audience name, what is your target avatar is Marissa? Think to yourself, what can I do to better serve Marissa? What does Marissa need from me today? What can I create for Marissa that sparks an emotion? What can I create for Marissa that makes her feel seen or feel loved or feel like she is leading something? What can I do for Marissa that speaks directly to her, that entices her to take action? Okay. And if you think in that way, shift your mindset in a way to think that way, in a way that you can serve your avatar, that's a win. So, like I said, it's not really a hack. It's more like an action step that I take every night before I go to sleep. I make sure I write it down. And I have this, girl, and I love airing on demand. It's called, I don't know if y'all can see that, my top three, and I write down my 3 actions that I'm gonna take every night before I go to bed. Girl, game changing. Yes. Anybody else want to add to that?
I can add to that. For me is I do the writing the three things down as well. That really helps me because I'm a visual person, so I need to check a box, line it out as I go, and it really helps to have that visual. Other than that, for me, it's also like my routine. Sometimes it's just show up and just see how it goes. Sometimes it be like that. And like of course I have to listen to my body too. I have an autoimmune disorder. So if my body tell me one day like girl, not today, not today. If it's just one thing off my list, that's just what it is for the day. At the end of the day, it's a win. But I have to listen to like my body or whatnot and take care of myself, right? So I'm able to still show up consistently like I am. Um, and other than that, it's making sure I like just have a plan in place or whatnot and just do my, because I'm big on making a list for the tasks I need to complete. But even if it's not completing the full task, that's okay too. But that's how I'm able to show up consistent is sometimes it's just do it. Sometimes it's like it's progress, not perfection, not perfection, Cedreka, because I'm a recovering perfectionist, a recovered perfectionist, you know, that perfectionism can get in your way. Okay. So sometimes you gotta get that out of your mind and just go for it, right? Like anytime Tammy tell me to do something, I'll be like, okay.
But that's one thing about Cedrica. She is on it. She is on it and she don't hesitate. And I always tell her I love that about her because she's intentional, right? She does take the steps on what, like, she's very proactive, but she takes the steps required to make sure that she grows in her business. And that's a lot. That's what I look for in a lot of women. Like a lot of women have that potential, but we have so many excuses or so many blocks and hurdles that's blinding us from seeing that what we're truly capable of. Like you can do it, you have what it takes, but do you believe you have what it takes? Are
Yeah.
you willing to drive yourself to take these steps and see change? And if not, you're going to continue to do the same thing every single day. You're going to continue to waste money and not receive any return on your investment. You're losing out. You're missing out. Why? Because you refuse to do something different so that you can see change that can help you. You know what I'm saying? I love that. And then when you touched on perfection, Cedrica, I didn't mean to cut you off, but girl, you touched on something important that we all need to talk about. We need to stop being a perfectionist.
Yes.
I I don't know how many times like we'll sit here and think, oh, this graphic don't look that good. I don't want to. It looks fine. It looks fine. Post it.
Yeah.
Post it, sis. Just post it. Because I'm going to tell you something. Once you start blowing up, ain't nobody going to look back at what you did 3, 4, and 5, 6 years ago. They're not going to look and scroll and look and try to find your content that you posted and shared in the beginning.
Mm-mm.
No, because once you share, you keep sharing, you keep posting, you're evolving, you're learning, you're creating, you're expanding, you're going to grow past whatever level. And by the time you do blow up to virality, Ain't nobody gonna be thinking about what you did in the beginning. They're only gonna be worried about what you can do for them now, what you're doing now, how you showing up now. And that's the only thing that's important. So just show up now.
Yep.
Yeah. No more being perfectionist. I would like to ask, what would you say? And this goes for everyone that's speaking. What would you say to the woman who knows she's called to more, but she keeps shrinking?
Oh my God. That's a good one. Because I definitely shrinked for a long time.
Mm.
It goes back to that support. Because I think as strong women, we think we're supposed to have it all together and don't reach out for help because it's like, oh, I'm gonna come back to myself. But no, you have to get the support. You can't continue to shrink yourself. And that goes back to whether it's therapy, of course, having that relationship with God, it goes back to all of that. And that's literally how you build that's how I built my confidence. Like
Yeah.
daily. Like, God, I'm gonna need you to remind me today who I am. Cause
Yes.
remind me, please, because I don't know. I ain't feeling it.
Yes. I would have to say, you're called to more, but you keep stopping yourself. You're standing in your own way. And a lot of the times it's not us. Who is manipulating you?
Yeah.
What are you seeing online that intimidates you? What influencers are you following that you're comparing yourself to that's stopping you? It ain't even got to be that. It could be Satan himself manipulating you, leading you to believe that you are not capable. You just can't do it. You don't have what it takes. You can't come up with no content. You can't think of what the right thing to say. Oh, that so and so ain't gonna like that. Oh, so and so gonna laugh at you if you share that. They gonna talk about you. No. Release all of that. Just say, I release the spirit of negativity. I release the spirit of doubt. I get it up all me. I rebuke you, Satan. You will not manipulate me to believe that I am not more than what I am, because you are. You have what it takes. Each and every one of you watching today, you have what it takes. You're smart enough. You are beautiful enough. You are willing. You are capable. You are able. All right. And if you are standing in your way today, if you've ever felt doubt, insecurity, you compare yourself often, or you question and overthink a lot of things, I want you to stop right now at this very second, because it's only the enemy that's keeping you from growing. He wants you to shrink. He wants you to feel small. He wants you to feel less than. Let it go. Post tonight. Share something that you have been wanting to share, even if it's a new introduction. And I don't know how many introductory posts I done shared. I done shared quite a few. But even if it's an introductory post, step out on faith and step out for you. Because you are the only one that can stand in your way, nobody else. Even though the enemy may manipulate you, even though family members might not support you in the way that you want them to, even though you feel like the spammers and trolls might come and say something negative, even though, so what? Tell yourself, I'm no longer giving them the power to control me and what I'm destined for. Tell yourself, I'm showing up for Marissa. And I don't know why that name is in my head. My target avatar's name is Maya. Maya Renee Carter. That's my target avatar. I know first, middle, last name, date of birth, everything. I know everything about my target avatar. But show up for Marissa. Show up for her, girl. She won't know you exist until you show up. And we all know it's a lot of saturated niches out there. If you want to be seen, you got to claw your way up to the top and be seen. And that don't mean you got to burn yourself out to show up. Show up consistently. whether that looks like showing up once a week, 3 times a week, or 5 times a week. Whatever that you can physically, mentally, and spiritually sustain, show up. Anybody else? I'm just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead.
Uh,
So I'm going to combine my hack in here, or my hacks, because it aligns. So I say set yourself up for success. And you have to first look at what is keeping you back, what is getting in your way. So for my ladies who are not going live because they don't like how they look or they don't have their full beat of makeup, I say this with love: use the filter, sis. I will go on TikTok. I like their filters. I will make a video in my story on there, use the captions, download the video, and post it wherever I have to post. That's one of the things. The next thing, if it's something as simple as the outfit, take the outfits out in advance. If that's your reason why you are not going live. Also, put it on a calendar. For me, when I put it out there into the world, if I tell you I'm about to do something or tell the world and have a date to it, you best believe I'm going to show up. And I know you are going to show up too. So if you put a calendar of what you got going on, events for the month, your weekly lives, or whatever it is, put it out there so that people can show up for you. And then the last thing, relating to what Tammy said about Marissa, and those of you wondering, what if Marissa is not there yet? If Marissa is not there yet, you need to still talk to Marissa. If nobody is on the live, when you start your live, you still need to do the live, and you need to say what you had to say and talk to the replayer, the people that are watching the replays. Sometimes I tell people, shout out to my replayers, comment below. You give them something to do, but keep going. And I know how intimidating it can be, but set yourself up for success.
Yes, sis. I love that. Hey, Angel, I see your hand, sis.
Hey, yeah, I want to speak to what you was talking about. That reframe is so important, how we have to rethink what we are thinking. And when we rethink what when we rethink what we're thinking, we can start to speak differently. And when those two are in alignment, we do start to feel differently. All too often, we move based off of how we feel. And so, we want to boil it all the way back to how do we stop staying small when we are called for more? Reframe that thing. Whatever you're telling yourself that's not serving you, reframe that thing. I say think and speak life, light, and love over you. And then another thing is, we get so caught up in, I gotta have this, gotta have that. Da, 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 da. Well, find that thing that lights you up. Find that thing that you're like, you know what? No, I can do this. I can show up and do this, right? Lean into your comfort zone, right? To start to push and move that needle forward for you to start to gain that momentum. And then start to hone those areas, like on live, hone those skills and going live or other areas that would be beneficial for you. But again, when you start to reframe, that's going to put you in a better position to be open to grab hold to different opportunities. So for me, my like big step out was doing a 30-day live challenge. And I was like, 30 days. I'm tripping. But I it was all a journey and all a process that even took me to that point to be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this. All right, let me stop playing around, because, in what I do, I really want to have that connection and that intimacy, if you will, to really show people, hey, this is me, unmuted and unfiltered, and everything. You know, some lives I remember one live I did, I actually took off my wig that I had on. I was just like, listen, this is this is it. Okay, this is it. Because at the end of the day, we are human beings, right? And so we have to show, or you know, boundaries, you know, but we have to show people the nitty gritty of what it practically looks like, you know, is, and it's not all glitz and glamour, you know, like that's just not reality. And so show up when you don't have the beat, use the filter if you need to, show up if you know, don't have everything together, just take a few notes, you know, that on a note card. I'm taking notes as we are talking because I'm like, man, listen. um so yeah, like do that, reframe, get into your comfort zone, and um know that what you have is enough. Who you are is enough. And we need you, sis. So let's go.
Amen. We need you. We need you to show up. That going live, that pressure and that intimidation you feel is really real. And it happens to a lot of us. All right. Even the most extroverted person out there, they felt some sort of intimidation before they went live. But I got to tell you, once you show up, think of it as practice time. When you show up, and you don't have anybody on, or you probably have a few people pop on and then they hop back off, don't feel intimidated by that. Think of it as this. Maybe they saw you, they probably were busy, they probably were doing something, driving at the time, or they might have got a phone call. You know, a lot of things happen, but that's why we have replay. So give them an opportunity to know, hey, if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, so I know you able to tune in with me. Or if you're watching live, hashtag live, so I know you were able to stop by and speak to your sis and let me know you were there. Stuff like that, but never, ever, ever not show up, okay? Because your avatar, the person that you are speaking to, needs you. Marissa want to know where you at. And if you come on, just like what Yondel was saying, if you show up on live and Marissa ain't there yet, she coming. Still show up. If she missed you, she just missed you, just like a missed phone call. Oh, girl, you missed me. But she'll catch the replay. She will. And she was able to get that value that you shared, even if it was just 5 minutes. And it means a lot. It goes a long way. And it takes that much pressure off of you each and every time you show up. Going live is crucial this day and age for social media. All right. And if you're not doing it, work your way up to calming your nerve down. If you don't know what to say, if you struggle with what to say, jot down some notes. Look at your notes so you're not rambling, so you don't get off topic. Have you a quick outline, touch on it 1, 2, 3, 4, and get off. Thank everyone for watching and leave. And then pat yourself on the back. Never forget to celebrate you for every single thing that you've done. Showing up on live is not easy. I don't want you to think, oh, it's just simple. For a lot of people, it's not. So the fact that you show up on live, pat yourself on the back because you did it and you deserve to be celebrated, even if you just celebrate yourself. I'm rooting you on 110% in spirit. If you don't see me or hear me rooting on you, or if I went on your live at that particular time and you went live, I'm rooting for you because I want you to know that is a huge step in your success. Keep pushing that needle forward because Marissa needs you. Anybody else want to add something to that? All right, sis. So if you are watching this and you're like, this is good, but I need to actually apply this to my real life, I did create a panel companion guide for you to reflect, process, and take action after this conversation. And we also have a panel resource sheet where you can connect with each of these amazing women, follow them, and tap into their offers freebies, and what they're doing on social media. So don't just watch this. I want you to use this, okay? Use this to better assist you. And if you want to watch it again or share it with another person that you feel might need this, do that too. We'd love to welcome them to Watching Unmuted and Unfiltered. These business panels, they are for business moms, okay? And this is to help us push that needle forward just an extra inch day by day. All right? This right here is exactly why this space exists, because you don't need more perfection. You need more permission to show up. Show up as you, the true, genuine, authentically made you. Okay? If this conversation spoke to you in any way, shape, or form, I want you to do two things for me. Go grab this companion guide, okay? And check out the resource sheet and connect with these amazing women. I want you to tap in with them, follow them, go and check out what they're doing, because they can help you grow that much more in the success of your business. I want to also see you inside Unmuted and Seen. Thank you so much to these amazing women for pouring into this space tonight. And sis, this is your reminder. You don't have to be perfect to be visible. You just have to be willing. All right. I wish you all an amazing night. Thank you all for tuning in, and God bless. Bye.